what's up, y'all? This is Chef K, and I'm back. And guess what? We're about to make my chuck wagon. Y'all know barbecues are coming this summer. You want the hot dog, the smoked sausage, the ribs, but you can't have a barbecue without having what? Baked beans. You got it. So a lot of y'all make this, but we're gonna make it the way I make it today. And if you like it, let me know how you like it. Some of y'all probably already make it like this, but this is just the way I learned how to make it growing up. So I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil up in here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let my pan continue to get hot right here. Let it continue to get hot, y'all. These things be temperamental. I don't have access to my gas stove right now, but yep. So what we're gonna do now is I have some ground turkey. Some people use ground beef, some people use Italian sausage, some people use ground chicken. I use ground turkey in mine. So everybody don't eat beef. This seems to be universal. Everybody don't eat turkey, but this is what I do. So we're gonna do this. So before I add in my meat, after this get hot, because you know, like you can go ahead and get hot. All right. So I'm gonna add in some onions and some peppers. It's super simple. I just got a couple of cans of Bush's baked beans. You can use whatever kind of baked beans. I don't even know if they still make baked beans or whatever, or Campbell's. Whatever kind of baked beans that you do, or you can go ahead and take the time and soak some beans and do all that. I'm not doing all that. Not today, I'm not. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead on and take some onions that I have here. Remember, you know, onions always make it taste good. Some people don't like onions, and I try to cut them fine enough that if somebody don't like them, that they don't have to worry about it. So some people don't like onions because they see them. So some people just don't like onions. Some people are allergic to onions. Well, you're gonna find onions a lot on this channel because I love onions. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in there, and I'm gonna go on and get this too. Here got my pepper. I got a half of a bell pepper. There's the other half right there. So don't waste your veggies, y'all. You know, preserve them right in the refrigerator. And you know, if you got a great vegetable crisper, it'll keep your vegetables crispy, but you can go ahead and use it again. So I'm gonna saute this right here just a little bit. Not till they get fully translucent, but just a little bit. And then I'm gonna add my meat. I'm gonna add my meat right on in here. Y'all see that? It's just peppers and onions smell good. There's something about peppers and onions that just smell so good. It's a great combination together. I have some gloves on because I don't like touching meat. I touch it all the time, but I don't like touching ground meat. It's a texture thing for me. Feels weird. But what I have here over here is some herbs and spices. I have some brown sugar, some barbecue sauce, and some mustard, believe it or not. So this is real easy to put this together. So we got a nice little sizzle on these vegetables right here. And this is a lean cut of turkey. So we're gonna go ahead and do this. So what I normally do, I go so quick with it, but I'll just take that. I love the flavor of that the peppers and onions give to the meat. And I love the flavor of what it does inside of, you know. I don't cook meat that's real cold out of the refrigerator or out of the freezer. I kind of let it, you know, sit out for a little bit before I cook it. It's a better texture to the ground meat for me. So I'm gonna go ahead on and cook this. And I don't know if everybody likes turkey, but ground meat is good. So I'm gonna go ahead on and do away with these now. That's pretty much why I had them on. So, and I'm just gonna let this sit for a minute. And I fold my vegetables over top, and I just chop in there like that. Yeah. So I'm gonna let this cook and come back, and we're gonna go ahead on and put this chuck wagon, as my family call it, together. Don't ask me why they call it chuck wagon, because they say it's a meal. right, y'all, so what I meant to tell y'all though, I'm folding this in, but make sure you go ahead on too. See, I got all my spices and stuff here, and I just mix them all together. Make sure you season your meat as it's cooking. So right here I got some all-purpose seasoning, and I want to season that meat really well so it can hold its own flavor inside of those beans. Sometimes when you season things, they get the whole thing, the meat, you know, it won't have any flavor into it. So I like to season. I'm a person that seasons, so I have just like a little garlic powder in there, some all-purpose seasoning, some black pepper, a little paprika, and just a few other little seasonings in there. So again, I'm gonna finish browning this up and I'll be back. Okay, our ground meat is done, everyone, and so now, as you can see, our ground meat is done. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and put our ground meat inside of our beans here before we bake them in the oven. And so it's seasoned well, and we left a little bit of those seasonings so that we can add, so it can season the beans. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take this off. Now, some people, if you have a fat meat, a meat that's full of fat, like a ground beef or something like that, or some people have put sirloin in their baked beans. It produces a lot of oil. This does not. Turkey has less fat, and this is a lean cut, as far as a lean ground turkey right here. So all of this right here is nothing but goodness for me. It's not like I'm dumping oil. If it was a ground beef or something, I wouldn't do it. But as you can see, I'm going to get all of that goodness in there. All of that goodness. Don't leave, not nail nothing. Somebody say, not nail nothing in the pan. Now y'all know y'all beans are fully cooked, the turkey's fully cooked, so we're gonna do that and move that on out the way there. So you fold them in gently. You don't mash them or disturb it too much, because I don't want no mashed beans, y'all. I want some chuck wagon. And you're gonna want some chuck wagon when you make this and make it right. So I just fold it on in. And you can use some vegetable beans, some hickory beans, or whatever you want to do. I just use the original beans from Bush's. And this is a dish that my family and friends love when they come to a barbecue. What I do is take the rest of those seasonings. I made a seasoned blend that I put in the meat. And just so that the beans will have the equal amount of love, I take and I go ahead on and season the rest of it. I pour the rest of it in here, inside of the beans. All right, and then before I toss everything, I like to incorporate everything. So I got this spoon here, but I'm gonna go ahead on and move this spoon out the way right here, because at this point now, I'm actually gonna step back and get rid of this spoon. Thank you very much. And I am going to use the mustard here. Want to get that mustard, and I spread that mustard around. I'll mix it all in. And I put about a tablespoon and a half of mustard. This is 2 cans. I believe this is the 24-ounce can or something like that. And then I'm gonna give it love with this hickory barbecue sauce. You can use any kind of barbecue sauce if you want to. Some people use ketchup, but I don't. But I use barbecue sauce. I can do that. It's my kitchen. But look, I'm just gonna take that brown sugar, and normally I just break it up so it can get evenly dispersed. Y'all know brown sugar's packed, so I want to take that and put that on in there. And if you use they do have a version of these baked beans with brown sugar. Just fold it in, y'all. I know it looks like it's a dry mess, but it's not gonna be. Just fold it on in. Don't mash and do too much extra stuff. Just fold it on in. Just fold it in gently, and just go ahead and incorporate it in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold this. And I love the little pockets of brown sugar that go, because they eventually melt down and they'll disperse itself throughout the baked beans, but the brown sugar would just fold it over gentle. Don't be rough with it, just be gentle. And you're gonna find them little chunks of brown sugar. But trust me, it's gonna disperse once it's cooking. So what I normally do is, I don't wanna mash nothing, but I just do it like that and slowly just smooth it on out. And I just make sure it's evenly distributed about the pan. And your family will appreciate you for doing this, y'all. Take this and cover it with some foil. Make sure you use, just like if you were making mac and cheese or something, you use a heavy duty pan. Don't use one of them little flimsy pans, because then you'll have to double up on the pan. So don't use nothing flimsy. But yeah, just go ahead and put some foil over this, and I'm gonna go ahead and foil this. And then I am going to put this in what, y'all? The oven. Got some good old Reynolds wrap here. And my oven, you know, you can eye measure. Yep. And I always put a little excess, because y'all know if you tuck it and gather it, if something try to spill out, it'll get caught in the tuck. You know, just leave it. No, don't use all your foil now. Just use a little bit, just to tuck. Okay. And then you go ahead on and take that in that oven. I always keep a piece of foil or a pan in there sometimes when I'm doing things, because of the fact that I don't want things to spill in my oven, because I have had things spill. But just go on and slide that right on in the middle of the oven and bake it. I bake mine for a good 30 to 45 minutes, or let it simmer while you're doing other things. Maybe you're making potato salad or something. But when it's all said and done, I'll come back and let you see the chuck wagon. And this is delicious on hot dogs. So I'll see y'all when this is ready. All right, so remember those baked beans, as you call them, but my chuck wagon? Let's see what we got. Be careful when opening this, because I have been steam burnt before. It gets very hot. So, ooh, y'all, look at that. Got a little roast on it right there. I'm just gonna take a little spoon, and I told you they wouldn't be dry. Look at that. Ooh. I told y'all it wouldn't be dry. Wouldn't be dry, wouldn't be mushy. This chuck wagon, you can go and get this. It smells so good. Don't it smell good? He ain't gonna nod his head or nothing like that. I don't be getting no help. I promise y'all somebody in here with me. But yeah. So now it's time to taste. And they're very hot. So look at that right there. That looks good. You set this out at your barbecue, you ain't gonna have nothing left. So I'm gonna be smart about mine, but I'm gonna let y'all get some. Make sure you get some with everything on it. Get a little bit of that juice too. Look at that. It's juicy, y'all. It ain't. Here you go. There you go. There you go. I promise y'all the spoon gonna come back empty. I told you. But y'all get some. Y'all go ahead on and get some. It's delicious, I promise you. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and blessings.